Hi guys, it's Nicole here again with Mommy Tips by Cole. This video is going to be a highly requested video. I did receive a couple of requests for this within the past couple of months. Also on this channel, as well as my YouTube collaboration mommy channel, the 411 Mamas. And I thought this would be the perfect time to do this video. Alexa, that's following me here on YouTube and Instagram, she specifically asked me if I could do this soon because she's leaving on vacation next month. And if you already know by reading the title, this video is going to be tips for traveling with small children, or just general tips for traveling. A lot of these things you could just use, you know, for yourself, but I'll mention more specific things that are related to younger children because I have 3 younger children, but I'm sure they would apply to older children as well. But I'm sure there's some additional things that would be helpful if you did have older children, but I'm not going to mention those. I'm going to just mention more specifically things that I'm going through now with the 3 little ones, so I'm just going to get right into it. So in regards to packing, one of the top things that I suggest, and not only do I do this for the kids, but I do this for myself, I pre-arrange outfits or pre-pick outfits. So I have 3 kids, so I will already pre-arrange all their outfits. So for Emmeline, I'll already have her top or bottom or her dress, you know, lined up. And then on top of that, I'll put Malia's outfit. And then on top of that, I'll put Dylan's outfit for that particular day. So his top and his bottom or whatever that they happen to be wearing. And I'll set that aside. So that'll be 1 day's worth of outfit. And then I'll have all lined up their outfits. And then I'll just put them on top of each other. So if ever I'm going into the luggage on that day and I need an outfit, there's a set right there for all 3 of them ready to go. Such a time saver, and it also does save space as well. So, and it's easy then if you're not the type to like to take your stuff out and put them in drawers in the hotel. I hate doing that, but that's just me. I just like to pick it out of our luggage or out of our bag. So ready, whatever's on top, that's the set of outfits that they're going to be wearing for that day. Next thing I want to say is bring extra of everything in regards to shirts, sleeping clothes, pants, socks, underwears, bibs, birth cloths. Better to have more than under, because unless you staying in someone's house that you have the luxury to do some laundry if you needed, if your child has some accident, especially when they're little babies and they need to be changed constantly, always have extra of everything. You never know how soon or quickly that you're going to run out. So my thing is I always bring at least 2 or 3 extra of everything. Be prepared. Bring those just in case items, specifically medicines and thermometer. I've been on trips when we took them across to Vegas from Jersey to stay with my in-laws. I had to check my daughter's time. She got sick. She had a fever on the plane, and I had to give her some medicine to bring her fever down. You never know what's going to happen when you're on a trip. Even another trip we had with her, she got really sick. She got this bad, we all got bad stomach virus when we were away. So I needed all those household things that I would normally have but not use every day, just in case, you know, instead of having to worry about running out to the store to grab all those things that you would normally have accessible when you're at home. So bring those just in case items with you. You never know when you're going to need them. As far as like bringing toys to keep them occupied and busy, as far as the toys goes, try your best to bring either new toys or newly rotated toys. I like to rotate toys, and just like recently we did this other day. I went down to the basement and put some toys that they were just kind of bored with playing with, and brought up some new ones that, you know, sparked their interest again. And for purpose of road trips or any kind of trips or traveling, I like to bring things that they're not playing with at the moment. So to them it looks like, oh wow, look at these, a bunch of new toys or toys we haven't seen in a while. And you know, that keeps them busy for the duration of the travel as well as when you're at your destination. So bring newly rotated or new toys if you have them lying around. I like to save some stuff sometimes on birthdays or Christmas, so then open it all at once, and I might save that for vacation. Another thing, my husband actually mentioned this to me after our recent road trip. If you are going on a road trip, search some fun activities where you don't need, you know, to bring things that would keep them busy during the trip. Especially, I think this is great if you have older children. He said he saw on some show, I think like the Kelly, or formerly Regis and Kelly show, something about a game with finding license plate like a checklist game. So for every license plate from different state you find, you check it off your list. And I thought that's such a great idea. I don't think that would apply to us for our kids just yet, but for older kids, I think that's such a great idea. And I'm sure there's a million and ton more ideas out there if you just search, do your research online, and you don't need anything other than a pen or paper for that. And that, you know, that's something that the whole family can do together, especially for a road trip. So I have a secret weapon. Well, this is for me. My secret weapon, anytime meltdowns are on the brink or whatnot, for even meltdowns for mommy, my secret weapon is snacks. Lots of snacks. When kids get restless, or when my kids get crazy and rambunctious, they're either hungry or they're tired. And if they're not gonna take a nap, they're gonna be hungry and they're gonna wanna snack on something. So if it's in between meals, I'll, you know, just grab out my bag. I have like a designated bag if we're on a road trip for snacks, or even on the plane, I'll bring a smaller designated bag. Little packets of chips, cookies, crackers, fruits, celery, maybe with peanut butter, or whatever it is that your kids love, or, you know, they don't indulge in all the time. Bring those snacks. Travel in comfy clothes and easy on and off shoes. This not only goes for me, but especially for my children. A comfy top, a comfy pair of pants, a skirt bottom, or if you're in winter, velour tracksuit is like my go-to thing for all of us. You know, because then they'll have their hoodie as well to keep them warm on the plane if you're going by plane. Comfy clothes, comfy shoes, easy on and off. My kids always want to take off their shoes in the car, in the plane too, so no laces for traveling, just easy, quick on and off shoes and comfy clothes for traveling. You always want to be comfortable when you're traveling. That I'm sure most of you already do. Always have extra change of clothes and underwear in your diaper bag or in your carry-on. You never know when accidents can happen. I always have that with me anyway in my diaper bag. Rarely have to ever pull that out, especially now that they're bigger, but when they're newborns or little infants, you're going to need that anyway. So always have extra clothing and underwear just in case. So more specifically, if you're traveling by car, my thing with the car is I want to be able to fit in as much things as I can. And if you have big luggages, you're kind of limited in space. So I discovered by using smaller bags, smaller duffel bags, book bags, to put everything in, you can get those little bags underneath in crevices or places that you wouldn't be able to fit a giant, huge luggage. So I'll designate a duffel bag. I had a video on this last year of how I packed things when we went on a road trip. If you want to check that out, I'll link it down below. But like I'll have a duffel bag for my husband's clothes, duffel bag for the kids, maybe a duffel bag or a tote for our shoes, because shoes are dirty, and just like keep those separate, and maybe like a tote or bag, excuse me, for snacks, and I'll keep that up front by me so I can just have easy access to it. So that's the way to go for me. That works wonders for us as far as saving space, especially if you have double stroller or single stroller or any kind of big bulky stroller that you need to bring in the car with you. You're already limited with space there. So I found by having these smaller bags, we've been able to carry everything that we need without running out of space too quickly. Traveling by car can really be hard, especially for potty breaks and diaper changes. It's almost nearly impossible to change a diaper in the car. So every chance you get to stop for gas or stretch your legs or whatever, potty break, change diapers. Every single stop that we do on a road trip. We actually drove down to Florida when I was pregnant with my third child, and I had the two little girls. We drove all the way down to Florida from Jersey. So that was a crazy road trip, but we managed it. It sounds crazier than it actually was. It was actually manageable, and considering I was pregnant too and in the back with the two little ones and my baby in my belly, it wasn't as bad as it seems. But I was in the middle of potty training, I think at that time, my second. So yeah, so potty breaks as often as we could, and I actually brought a potty with us in the car just in case, but we didn't even end up having to use that. Okay, I had to switch locations because my battery was running low and I had to plug it near an outlet. So moving on to traveling by plane, you definitely want to conserve as much luggage space as you can, and depending on the airline, you're limited to weight, you're limited to size, and so forth. So what has helped me so much, especially when they were little, you need definitely, if you needed formula or if you need tons of diapers and wipes, you know, that adds on to the bulk and the weight and just the space that's in your luggage. So what I found to be super helpful, especially traveling across country, we went from New Jersey to Vegas several times. I think every time I went, I was always pregnant with one of my kids, and I always had a little one. So every time we did that, what I would do is just take the diapers or amount of formula or wipes or baby food that we needed, at least for the duration of the trip and at least for like a couple days after. And when we would get there, I would just purchase more. I would go to a local Walmart or whatever drugstore and just buy some more wipes and diapers or whatnot, you know, just to last the duration of the trip. And that especially was helpful when we went there to stay with my in-laws for 2 weeks. I was not going to just have one luggage full of just designated for diapers and wipes or whatever, you know, just for the trip. So I just thought, wouldn't it be so much easier just take what I need for now, buy what I need over there, and whatever I have in excess I could just bring back, of course, anyway. So that has helped me out so much and just been such a great way to conserve space and weight for your luggages. One of my main concerns always when traveling by plane was worries of checking in carrier, stroller, car seats, and all of that. But depending again on the airline, but for us, the best thing that we ever did or that we've done was push our travel system or whatever stroller we had at the time, or even was our double stroller at the time that we had that with the carrier with little baby. We pushed that entire thing to the gate. So as soon as we got to the gate, this is what that particular airline allowed. They allowed us to push everything to the gate. And once we got to the gate, close up the stroller, and all they did was put a tag on it and just put it on the conveyor belt down to the bottom of the plane. And as soon as we got out of the plane, our stroller and the carrier were sitting there waiting for us to, you know, proceed to claim our baggage. And then as far as additional car seats, all we did, you're allowed on most airlines to check in either a stroller or a car seat. You're allowed, it's like aside from your luggages, mostly for infants, you will lap them, just depending if you want to purchase a ticket or not. But if you have an infant or a child, you're allowed to check in at least one car seat or stroller aside from your baggage. So we would check in our car seat for the older child, and if you have a car seat bag, that's perfect. But I didn't have that, and the ones that I found were expensive. So what I did was use a giant heavy-duty black garbage bag and put the car seat in that. As soon as we got out of our vehicle, we dropped off, take out the car seat, wrap it up and use like a tight rubber band to close it, and I pre-labeled the garbage bag with like just a big white sheet with marker, our name and address, and I taped it really good down to the black plastic bag. So as soon as we got the car, we just put the car seat in there, tied it up really good, and checked it in for a baggage claim. So that's what worked for us. It was the most cost-effective way, and yeah, it's just the perfect thing that we found to do for traveling with multiple children. Always count the bags, the number of bags you're checking in and the number of bags you're carrying on the plane, including your diaper bag and purse. It's easy to lose track, especially if you have a lot, especially if you have more than one child. Easy to lose track, so always jot that number down or memorize it if you have a good memory, and always count it every time you're on and off of the plane and going into whatever vehicle you are to leave the airport. So for the duration of flights, depending on the length of your flight, not only kids will get antsy and, you know, irritable and stiff or whatnot, but you as well, especially if you're lapping your child. And we always took advantage of being able to lap our child to avoid purchasing another ticket. And you know, you can get easily, you know, stiff and tight in that little confined space seat. So as often as you can, get up and go, you know, take a walk to the bathroom, or just stand in the aisle for a couple minutes with your child, or let them, you know, hold them if they're walking, you know, just at the back of the plane. I always like to book our seats towards the back of the plane. That's just my preference. And the art of changing diapers in a small airplane bathroom, that is something that takes a while to master, but you do what you have to do, right? So it's not easy at all. It's just this tiny little board where you can change your little baby, especially if your baby's an infant. I think the smallest we've ever traveled with our child, I think Malia was 3 months old. So yeah, that was always hard. Lots of bathroom trips to change her diaper. Definitely not easy, but you do what you gotta do, alright? So definitely stretch your legs as often as you can. Lastly, something that's super helpful for everybody for when you take off and when you land, chewing gum. Well, for adults or older kids, chewing gum helps so much as far as, you know, avoiding that ear popping stuff that goes on. Every time my kids were little or infants, I was always breastfeeding them, so that helped, especially any sucking motion for little kids. If they have a pacifier, if they're breastfeeding, or if they have a bottle, make sure that they are doing that during takeoff and landing, or descending down, you know, in the plane from high elevation. So that has been so helpful to them, to avoid them feeling, you know, that popping of the ears, or I don't know the technical terms. So, but for me, I always chew gum, so that always helps me. So I hope this video wasn't crazy long, and I really hope that this guys helps some of you. I know a lot of you were asking for this, and I'll probably post this on the 411 Mama's Facebook page as well, for those of you that were asking for it on that channel. So thank you so much for the request, especially to Alexa, who specifically asked that I do this soon. I wanted to get this in for you, as well as all those of you that are planning to travel for the rest of the summer, or at some point in the summer with your little ones. I hope this really helps. Please leave me comments down below if you have additional tips that you want to share with me and other moms, and let me know if this does help you. I really love you guys' feedback. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.